everybody. Happy Wacky Wednesday. We're going to try and have a new W word to go with Wednesday every Wednesday. Make it a little interesting. My name is Kevin and welcome to the first official video of Cooking with Kevin. The plan is to have some laughs and some fun in the Cooking with Kevin kitchen with some very easy to follow everyday recipes. Not things that have 15, 20, 30 sets of ingredients to it. Things that pretty much you may have in your house already to make it easy. When you come home, you can put it together, put it in the oven all within an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it's ready to go for you and your family. First of all, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you very much to everybody who's already subscribed, liked, followed on YouTube and Facebook. We really appreciate the support, the love, and everybody hanging out with us for a little while. So today's recipe is going to be a little bit of a twist on chicken pot pie. It's upside down chicken pot pie made with the leftovers of yesterday's dinner, which was rotisserie chicken with dressing, cranberry, vegetables, and potato. So these are the potatoes that I'm going to use to put inside my chicken pot pie. I always put a little bit of par-baked potato in my chicken pot pie mixture, and not very big, like 1/3 inch to 1/2 inch pieces. That's all that really goes in there. If you give me a second, I'll show you the size that goes in there. So as you can see, I've cut them about maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch thick. And then we're just going to keep doing the same thing. We're just going to cut this into 3 like that. Let's throw these back in here to make it nice and easy. And it's going to be the same thing now. It's just going to be a matter of... Alright, so here we go, guys. These have now been boiling for 5 minutes. As you can see, I did salt the water. It's always good to salt the water. It can't hurt unless you don't like a lot of salt. Now what you do is take them out, try to pick a bigger piece, give it a poke with a fork. See the way it's just going in like that? That is absolutely perfect. This is when you want to take them off the water. You want to rinse them. And what I do now is really quickly, I throw them in the strainer or another pot and put them right in the fridge right away so they stop cooking. Yesterday we had rotisserie chicken. With some cranberries and stuffing and mashed potatoes and garlic green beans. And so, of course, there is some leftover stuffing. The plan is what I'm going to do now is I am going to take some stuffing, going to make sure it's a little warm because it's easier to play with. And you wanted to put it into tiny little balls, just like that. As you can see, they're now done. So I've set the oven at 300 degrees, and what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven for roughly about an hour. We're going to check it in an hour to see how they're doing, and we're going to go from there. All right, so we'll see you guys in about an hour, and we'll let you see how they look. So it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's take them out of the oven and take a look at them and see how we're doing. So there we go. They're all done. Nice. And they're going to get harder as they dry. So there we go. Those are the stuffing croutons. So this is what we're going to need for today's recipe. We got 2 cups of rotisserie chicken from the rotisserie chicken we had last night. I took it apart. As you can see, I didn't cut it with a knife. Just nice little bite-sized pieces. We have a cup of par-cooked potatoes. We have our stuffing crouton balls. We have some salt and pepper. You're not going to need a lot of it for this recipe because this recipe is really, really easy, guys. It's Campbell's Creamy Chicken Soup. Instead of putting water in with it, I put chicken stock in with it, canned vegetables, and I use my chicken stock with either Better Than Bouillon. And for those of you who can't find Better Than Bouillon here, this is the Knorr new premium stock, which is fantastic. It's really thick and gooey, and it's better than the watered down stuff you're going to find in your store. Of course, we have 1 egg for the egg wash. We have some puff pastry, which you're going to see has a very interesting end for this. Of course, you can use any kind of oven type bowl that you want to use to put your chicken pot pie and your chicken pot pie filler and your puff pastry on top. I have these, but I'm going to use these today. As long as they're oven proof, that's all that matters. You're going to see this all come together very shortly and what we do with it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the puff pastry, back in the fridge because you don't want it to be at room temperature. It makes it hard to play with. You want it cool, not frozen, but you want it cool because it's easier to play with later and to place over top of whatever you decided to put your chicken pot pie filler in. The chicken soup is boiling. We don't need to boil it for a long period of time because it's going to cook some more, okay? All we need to do is just heat it up, give it a slow boil, and take it off the heat. All right, over here you can see I have the potatoes and the chicken, and up here I have the canned peas and carrots that I've already drained. They're going to go in at the very, very, very last. Unless you're using frozen peas and carrots, you can mix it together now with everything. But my suggestion is if you're using canned to make things a lot easier, just wait until the very end, just before you get ready to do the last stage of this, because they're already cooked and a little mushy on their own, so they want to do that. So as I said earlier, we did the can of cream of chicken soup with 1 cup of chicken stock. I try to use the good chicken stock, like I can't believe it's not bouillon or the Knorr premium chicken base. I find the ones that come in the cartons are mainly watered down and really, really watery and not as flavorful as the ones that have the paste with them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dump the heated up chicken noodle soup, cream of chicken soup, in with all of this. And we're not going to do it all at once because we don't want it to be over soupy. We just want it to be kind of like a thick, say, chicken stew, but not chicken soup. So we're going to go to about there. We're going to stop. Give it a little bit of a mix. Keeping in mind that it's going to cook down a bit more in the final stage. And we're going to do a bit more yet. See? Now you see how that is? That is like perfect. It's got some liquid to it that's you're gonna be able to use later, which is you're gonna need. And again, don't add these until the very last stage. We're gonna move over to the part now where we're gonna use the puff pastry and get all that ready. So we'll be back in a second, gang. All right, here we go, guys. So we're gonna start putting the finishing touches together before we go into the oven. Please make sure that your oven is up to 375 degrees and you have a rack at the center of your oven. So now is the time when we can add the peas and carrots because we're pretty much at the last stage. You don't have to add all of them if you don't want to. It totally depends on you and how much you want in there. Kind of give them a mix, make sure they're all in there. You know, there we go. Now, again, this is a part that's up to you. If you want to add a little bit of salt and pepper, it's completely up to you. Keeping in mind, you're using some ingredients that already have salt in them, like the cream of chicken soup. The chicken that was rotisserie has seasoning on it. So it's up to you. Mainly, I would just add mostly some pepper more than I would salt. So there we go. We kind of give all that a stir, make sure it's all mixed and ready to go. And we're going to set it aside because now we're going to bring out the puff pastry to get ready for putting everything in the oven. As you can see, I have the egg wash already. It's just 1 large egg with a teaspoon of milk or water, whatever you want to do. Give it a good mix up. And I have some butter in a glove, and you're going to see what that's for in just a second. Also, you can still see the stuffing croutons. That's for the end. That's going to go on top of this. And you're thinking, wait, isn't there puff pastry going on top of this? That is where the twist is going to come in. All right, so here we go, gang. As you can see, I've now separated the mixture in half. Put half in here, half in here. Now comes, I've taken the puff pastry out of the fridge and I've egg washed it. And like I said before, it's really important to leave it in the fridge the last minute and keep it cold because it's really easy to deal with instead of it being floppy and warm and room temperature. So now what we're going to do is the butter. We're going to take a bit of butter and we're just going to go around the edge. We want to make the edge nice and slippery. Okay, just put it on there. You know, put it around the top. You know, you want the top to be nice and slippery. Sorry, I was kind of out of camera there for a second. You want the top to be nice and slippery and the sides. All right, put it on all the way around on both of them. Now you got to remember, when we put this in the oven, the contents are already cooked, all right? So it's not like you're putting this in for an hour to cook everything, because everything's already cooked. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take your puff pastry, and we're going to put it on top, about as center as we can, and we're just going to fold it over. See that? See how that works? And the same with this one. Pull it over, just like that. You see how that is? So there you go. You see what that is? It's like that. So now what we're going to do is these are going to go in the oven at 375 degrees, 25, 30 minutes until these puff pastries start to cook on top. Now, if you'd like them in a little bit longer, check them after about 20 minutes. If they're starting to get a little bit more brown than you like, put some tin foil over the top so that the puff pastry continues to cook, but they don't get too dark on top. Hey gang, welcome back. It's only been about 8 minutes. Let's just take a quick peek. Maybe you'll get a sense of what we're doing, okay? Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yes I did. Cooking in the kitchen with Kevin. Well guys, shall we take a peek? It's been 22 minutes. Let's take a peek and see what we look like in here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And of course, you can see the difference. I didn't quite seal that one as well as I did the other one, so you can see the difference in the puff. So they're going to go for about 5 more minutes. So what we're going to do, just to be safe, we're going to put a little bit of tin foil over the top so they don't burn on top. Come on, get on there. And just for 5 more minutes. Turn off the oven, take a look, see what we got. Ooh, look at that. So there's one. Let's grab the other one. Take it out. And this is what the other one looks like. Okay guys, so now comes the fun part. Alright? You're thinking upside down. I could just dig into that right now. No, that's not what we're going to do. Now we're going to see, did I put enough oil on them to see if I can lift these off? Oh, almost. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to take a spoon or a fork, and now we're going to pry at the under edges to kind of loosen them. Please don't use a lot of force. Don't use this end. We don't want to dig at the puff pastry. We want to use the spoon as kind of like a spoon pry bar. So let's just bring camera up just a hair. And this is what we want to do. We just want to loosen it a little bit all the way around. See, you might be able to hear that it's cracking off, and that's what we want to do. You want to do that all the way around on both of them, because you want to be able to lift them off and turn them upside down to use them as a bowl, which you're going to see in just a second. So here we go, guys. Nice and gentle, like that. Look at that. We're going to do the same with the other one. Nice and gentle, like that. Oh, hello there. Hello, my darling. How are you? I hope you had a good time in the oven. I hope it was warm and you enjoyed your vacation. Now comes the fun part. Because as you know, this is already cooked. And this is what we're going to do with it. Oh, look at that. Let's bring this one over here. Oh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is upside down chicken pot pie. Now we're going to have some fun. You saw the croutons that we made, just for a little bit of decoration. They're kind of big, I know, but none of us are professionals, right? Now, there we go. Rhonda does not like cranberry. I do. I'm going to add a little bit of cranberry over the top of mine. You know, there we go. There we go. So there we go, guys. Upside down chicken pot pie. And that is today's edition of Cooking with Kevin. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, the first real official video. Yes, we had some hiccups. Yes, there's more equipment coming. Yes, we're going to get better. But the object is to always have nice, easy, fun recipes that anybody can do. Nothing extravagant, nothing crazy, nothing that involves souffling stuff or setting stuff on fire. At least not on purpose. I've enjoyed having you in the kitchen today. We'll see you next week for ham, potato, and Gouda cheese torte. Kind of like a multi-layer potato pie. We'll see you guys then. Have a great week. Remember to be kind to each other, to love each other, and check on those that mean the most to you, because calling somebody and saying hi may just save a life today. Let the people in your life know that you care. Love you guys. We'll see you in a week. It's time to cook with Kevin. Oh, hi everybody. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what we're going to need for today's upside down chicken pot pie. But first, I want to show you guys this. Just a little bit of a cool thing. I thought I'm going to try and have different ones as we go along. Today's apron says, "Don't worry, I got this. I'll watch the YouTube video." Why do I turn my head like that? Alright, so here we go, guys. These have now been boiling. Alright, guys. There we go. There we go, guys. So it's been about an hour. Hey, guys. So as you heard earlier in the video. Here you go, guys. So we're going to start putting the finishing touches together. So here we go, gang. As you can see, I've now separated the mixture